0, I spawned in and looked around. I immediately saw a village behind me and started running. Once I got to the village, I immediately tried to break a tree while avoiding all the slimes around me. Once I got in the village, I started looting. I took everything inside of this chest and then saw there was a blacksmith and then raided the entire chest. Then, using my wood, I made a crafting table and sticks and then got more wood. Using the extra wood, I would make an axe and then I would make a pickaxe so I can get cobblestone. After getting some cobblestone and wood, I could make some stone tools. After looting a couple more houses, I found the iron golem and started to kill him. With the iron, I made a bucket. With the bucket, I got lava from the blacksmith. Then I went into a house that would be my home for a very long time. When I was getting water for the cobblestone generator, I heard a zombie from the blacksmith. After digging around for a little bit, I couldn't find anything, so I just patched everything up and left. After putting a crafting table behind the cobblestone so I can hold down click to mine, I went inside and started mining cobblestone. After setting up the base and mining for a little bit, I made walls so I can protect the village. Basically, for the rest of the day, that's all I did. I mined cobblestone, made walls, then placed the walls. Day 1 was just walls, more walls, and some more walls. Day 2, I actually did something interesting. I made a garden. Let's go. And then I placed more walls. At night, I got a zombie in a boat, hoping it would scare villagers and spawn iron golems for iron, but it never worked. Day 3 was just a lot of chores. I did some gardening, I fixed a couple pathways, and you can't forget about walling. But aside from chores, I started working on a villager breeder, which would supply me with most of my villagers for all my trading. By the end of the day, the breeder was just about finished. I just needed more carrots to get it fully up and running, so I just decided to go to sleep. On day 4, I started on a fun little project. Put your comments down below on what you think it is. If you guessed a trampoline, you would be correct. But aside from the trampoline, basically all I did was finish up the structure for the villager breeder. Today was a peaceful day. I planted carrots and chopped wood. And my house is on fire. After putting out the last flame, I started rebuilding the roof. Day 6, I built the roof, got a horse, got a farmer, and got animals. Day 7 was just mostly chores, and I started dirt pit. Day 8, I ventured out to other villages for books, beds, and iron. And at one of the villages, I also found a blacksmith. At night, I slept in a random villager hut. Day 9, I ventured back home and finished the villager breeder. Then I finally took down my horrible iron farm. Day 10, I looked for torches because I forgot charcoal was a thing. And then I fixed the villager breeder because the adults weren't swimming upward. I started working on a trading hall I literally would never use. By night, I was out of wood and halfway done. All I did on day 11 was build the trading hall. By the end of the day, it was just about done. Day 12, I finished the roof, did the interior, and put pressure plates on the roof so mobs didn't spawn on top. Day 13, I went to other villages and killed iron golems for iron. When killing this iron golem, something happened. Thankfully, I was near my horse, but that one scared me a little. Day 14, I started on an iron farm, and by the end of the day, it was pretty much done. I just needed to put in the zombies and the villagers. The entire daytime of day 15, I just kind of waited so I could get the villagers to sleep and a zombie in the farm. By the night of day 15, I had 3 villagers and a zombie inside the farm. Day 16, I made all the blocks on the ground path blocks because iron golems were spawning on the ground. Day 7, I started destroying this house so I could build a bigger, better cobblestone generator. When building the cobblestone generator, I didn't mess up once, I messed up twice, and then I had to use my last bucket of lava to finally get it correct. Day 18, I got a farmer and a toolsmith so I could get emeralds from the farmer to buy tools from the toolsmith so I could eventually get diamond tools. I also made a giant farm so I could get crops to sell to the farmer. Basically, all of day 19 was chores until the end of the day, which I started working on a mob farm. Day 20, I found my first wandering trader and built more of the mob farm. I also got an armorer so I could eventually get diamond armor. All of day 21, I traded with villagers and built more of the mob farm. Day 22, I did a lot. I got my first piece of diamond armor, built this weird slime thing, planted more crops in the big farm, dug more dirt, and at the end of the day, I built more of the mob farm. Day 23 started off kind of annoying. I got a villager stuck in the villager breeder, and it was kind of annoying to get him out. After I got the villager out, I started working on the mob farm. After working on the mob farm for a little bit, I got a brand new diamond shovel, which was good for mining dirt. While I was mining dirt, I opened up my F3 menu to see what day it was, and it said day 25, and as you might see, it says day 23. So I'm guessing I combined 2 days into one 2 times, and yeah. So from now on, it's going to be day 25. The morning of day 26, I went outside my walls to see that there were 3 endermen. I placed down my bucket of water and looked at all 3 of them so that they were all aggro. After killing all of them, they all dropped pearls. I swear I'm not cheating. After killing the enderman, I started working on the mob farm. By the end of the day, all I had to do was drain out the water at the bottom, then it would be completely finished. Day 27, harvest day! I ran outside and grabbed iron from the iron farm. I broke all of my crops, replanted them, then sold them to the farmers. Then, with all my emeralds, I bought a pair of diamond leggings. Today, I also started my adventure to other villages so I could get lava for a nether portal. Day 28, I found 3 blacksmiths, so I got 6 buckets of lava, all the loot. When I picked up the lava, I was like, oh yeah, 6 more buckets to go. And I opened the chest in the blacksmith, and I see 12 billion obsidian, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I just spent half an hour for nothing. I just decided to go to another blacksmith, and inside the chest, I found a couple diamonds, which was pretty exciting. At the village, I also saw a wandering trader, which literally sold me nothing good. So, you know what happened. On the way home, I stopped at the Stronghold Library to see what it had. It didn't have much except a couple armor trims and a good Protection 3 book. Day 30, I finally got home and I made an enchantment table and a bunch of books. I placed them down just to realize that you need lapis to enchant. To take out my anger, I went to de-drain the mob farm so I could kill mobs. Day 31 was a good day. I got a diamond chest plate from the armorer, I got a farmer that I could sell carrots to, and when I was walking around, I saw my horse out in the middle of nowhere outside the walls. And then towards the end of the day, I built a nether portal, and towards the end, just before I went to sleep, I placed wood and lava so the portal could light. The morning of day 31, I added more lava and wood, hoping the portal would light. This was taking so long that grass was literally growing on the dirt. Then I moved the lava around just a little bit, and then finally it lit. So, after the portal was lit, I got a diamond helmet and marked out a chunk that I thought was a slime chunk. The entirety of day 33 was just pathing slime chunks, and at the end of the day, when it was just about to turn night, I made a little pond with a dock so I could fish. I had one cat trapped in a house, and with the fish from the pond I made, he slowly walked towards me and I tamed him. Day 34, I got a diamond pickaxe, I got a weaponsmith, I harvested crops, and at the end of the day, I built a box around the mob farm so I could kill mobs during the nighttime. Day 35 was mostly spent at the mob farm killing mobs for loot and XP, but towards the end of the day I got a brand new diamond axe. The entire day of day 36 I just kind of jumped around because I wasn't sure what to do, but at the end of the day I just killed mobs at the mob farm. Day 37 I harvested my crops and sold them to the farmer. I finally had enough emeralds to get a diamond sword. Since I had full diamond armor and full diamond tools, I decided to go to the nether. After a little bit of searching, I finally found a nether fortress, and once I found a blaze spawner, I made a little box around it so the blazes couldn't fly away when I was trying to kill them. By the end of day 37, I had 3 blaze rods. Day 38, I killed blazes until I had 8 blaze rods. On the way back home, I found some endermen and killed them, and I got 3 ender pearls. When I went through the portal, I spawned not at my base, but a little ways away, so I walked back and went to bed. Day 39, I didn't really do much, but I did get some more animals, and I built a little storage house. The entirety of day 40 I spent at the mob grinder getting rotten flesh so I could trade with the cleric to get lapis to enchant. The morning of day 41 I traded with the cleric until he sold me lapis, decent enchants. For the rest of the day I just killed mobs at the mob grinder for XP. Day 42 was a big day. I harvested my crops and sold them to my farmers. I finally had enough emeralds to start rolling for enchanted books with villagers. So I grabbed a villager from the villager breeder and stuck it in a corner so it couldn't move. Then I started rolling for mending. After like 10 minutes, I finally got mending. I made an anvil, put mending on my shovel, and at night I built to the top of the mob grinder and lit it up so mobs on top of the mob grinder wouldn't damage mob rates at night. Then for the rest of the night, I dug dirt for a second layer of the mob farm. All of day 43, I worked on the second layer of the mob grinder. By the end of the day, I had the floor where the mobs will spawn on and the canals where the water will go in. And for day 44, I did the exact same. All I did was work on the mob grinder. And by the end of the day, it was 2 times faster and completely finished. Basically, all of day 45 was just chores and making the place look a little bit prettier. Day 46, I got a villager that could sell me Protection 3 books. By the end of the day, I had Protection 4 on my boots, leggings, and chest plate. Literally, all of day 47 was spent at the mob grinder killing mobs for XP. Day 48 was more of the same, but except at night, I killed endermen and got 2 ender pearls. I would like to say day 49 was exciting, but it wasn't. All I did all day was do chores and clean up. Day 50, I actually did something more interesting than killing mobs at the mob grinder all day. I went to the nether and killed some more endermen, and I also got some gold for golden apples for the end fight. I just want to say thank you guys for watching. This took me more than 24 hours straight to edit just these first 50 days, making me put this video off for over a year. If you made it here, it would mean the world to me for you to like and subscribe. If we get enough views and likes on this video, I will consider spending another 24 hours of my life editing for you guys. I hope you guys have a blessed day. Bye.